Personally, I'd suggest Jackie Robinson, Stan Musial, or Lou Gehrig. Finally, the hippie dream of legalized pot's already starting to look a little nightmarish in Denver. In fact, several city council members are pushing for the city to opt out of Amendment 64 that legalized pot. Pot's always touted as a harmless drug that just makes people mellow. But the police chief testified that ever since medical marijuana was legalized, Denver has seen an increase in crimes like burglaries. And even though city residents overwhelmingly approved the amendment, the council members say the voters thought it would just decriminalize the possession of small amounts of pot. What they didn't realize was that it might result in someone opening a marijuana store in their neighborhoods. Sound as if voters should have read the amendment more closely and thought more clearly about the ramifications. Gee, I wonder why they weren't able to do that. And this is the Huckabee Report.
Here's your WENG 1530 107.5 Weather Eye forecast brought to you by Italiano Insurance Services. For 50 years, they've been protecting all the pieces of your life. Call the folks at Italiano Insurance at 941-964-0400 today. This afternoon, cloudy with scattered showers and highs in the mid-60s. And then for tonight, we could see some lingering rain showers through the evening. Otherwise, mostly cloudy skies, the north breeze, and our lows falling back into the middle 50s. I'm meteorologist Greg Tatro. Right now, it's 70.
Hey, Southwest Florida, this is Captain Chris O'Neill.
Captain Jesse McDowell.
Freshwater Rob Taylor.
And the guy behind the scenes, Jerry the Intern, from the Real Saltwater Outdoors Fishing Show.
Hook up with us on Friday night while you're driving home for our new 2-hour in-studio show.
We're coming right in from the boats to bring you the most up-to-date fishing, boating, diving, and other outdoor-related information on the planet.
Catch the hottest fishing show in Florida, Friday nights 4 to 6 p.m., right here on the Real Saltwater Outdoors Radio Network, WENG.
It's time to keep your home fresh and exciting with home decorating tips from Robin Interiors.
Hi, this is Robin. Here are a few more decorating tips. Always choose paint colors last. It's easier to find a paint color to go with furniture fabric choices than the other way around. One pair of pillows always looks skimpy. Use 2 pairs in contrasting patterns, colors, and textures. When selecting an overhead light fixture, add the length and width of a room in feet. Whatever number you come up with is in inches your guide for the fixture's diameter. An example would be a 15 by 20 foot room. Add 15 plus 20, which is 35. You need a 35-inch wide chandelier. When hanging curtains, hang them as high as possible to give the room more height. If you could use the help of a designer, here's how to contact me.
In Inglewood or the surrounding area, go to ROBBINinteriors.com or jot down this number. It's not in the phone books. 314-954-2461 for Robin Interiors.
And welcome back to Gulf Coast Business Spotlight. I'm your host, Lou Hastings, from the Boca Grande Area Chamber of Commerce. In the studio with me today, I have Brian and Joe from Grand Air Services of Boca Grande. And welcome back to the second half hour of our show. I want to talk this half hour a little bit about, well, maybe a lot of bit about some of the community involvement of Grand Air Services. I'm going to start with everything that you do for the Boca Grande Chamber. And this, it can go from the fall festival that you guys support us in, and for many years. But I really want to talk about how proud we are to have you as a presenting sponsor year after year for the Fall Golf Scramble, which is our scholarship fundraiser for the Chamber. We couldn't be happier, and thank you so much for that involvement. It really means a lot for you guys to be at the top level, and thank you.
We love to be there, love to be involved with it. Of course, you know, I know Richie. We're in Lemon Bay Sunrise together, but you guys do a great job. It's put together well. Course is absolutely gorgeous. The food is phenomenal. All the chefs, and I don't know all the chefs that are involved, but it's phenomenal what you put together. Very professional, and we love it.
I have to say that I wish I could take credit for all that. I really do. But I can just get everything in a row. But the Gasparilla Inn also gives us so much help, as far as logistics and getting all the restaurants from Boca Grande to bring down the food for you guys after you're done playing golf. But, this past year, it was really important that I got across to the room at the end of the golf tournament, after we gave away the awards, to talk about some of the kids who are actually impacted by your support. Right. And I read a couple of letters from students that wrote to the chamber, and you guys never get to see that. You never get to read that, and I love reading them, and they kill me. They get you right to your heart. 42 scholarships we were able to give out last year because of Grand Aire Services and our other participating sponsors. But for you guys to be a presenting sponsor every year, we wouldn't be able to do it without you, and thank you so much for that.
Oh, you're very welcome. And the kids, look at the benefits they get. It brings tears to your eyes just knowing that you're helping those kids out, because the education is so expensive. So, it goes a long way. It
really does go a long way, and like I said, you guys being a presenting sponsor really helps us put that on. We wouldn't be able to do it without you. So, but I want you to talk about a little bit more of other things that you do. We just got done with Taste of Boca. You guys were a sponsor of Taste of Boca as well.
Right.
But why don't you talk about a couple of the other things that you're involved in?
We do the tennis tournament also. That's on Boca Grande Club, and I think that's part of some of the scholarships too.
Yep.
Also, Joe and I both belong to the Rotary clubs. I'm in the Lemon Bay Sunrise here in Englewood, and he's in Englewood Cape Hayes. Very involved with that, each one of us. Tomorrow night we're doing the Englewood Cancer Foundation. Lou Long. I'll be cooking out there with Pat Parks and some of the Rotarians. It's from 7 to 10 Saturday, and that's the walk, the parade that they're going to have.
Right.
Just fireworks. The fireworks we have 4th of July. That's an awful big event with the Cajun Festival. So, and that's really, really starting to take off. We've had very successful years in the past, and we just see that thing growing. And it's important to put Englewood on the map with that. So
last year the fireworks were spectacular. We could see them from the beach on Boca Grande.
Yeah, and they're going to be even better this year.
If that's even possible.
Yeah.
And you just recently had a partnership with Suncoast Humane Society.
Yes, we did. Joe and myself went down there and presented them a check for $4,400, and that was a portion of each.
Yeah, I think what we did last year was, for the month of August, every change out that we installed, we donated $100 towards the fund. So we ran down there and ended up with $4,400. And I was actually looking at some statistics, and just to spay or neuter a dog or a cat's $50. Heartworm prevention and trying to get those dogs and cats healthy again, it's $250 just to provide, heartworm care. And so it's rather expensive, and, we just wanted to partner with someone, do the right thing, and it worked out really well. We had a good time.
I love the fact that you're not only relying on your service record, but you're also a real integral part of the community. By doing all these different events and being parts of these different groups, this is a true community business. This is a local business, not small by any means.
Right.
A large business doing all this work for the community.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'll tell you, just to give you an idea of where Bobby's mindset is he's always a call to action. How can we help in whatever aspect it is? He's always wanted to help. Everybody there has a great attitude. It's a great place to work. But if we have a moment, I'd like to share a quick story,
please.
And this is several years ago. Just to give you an idea of the generosity of Bobby and Grand Aire itself. But Bobby walked in my office and he says, "Hey, can you do something for me?" And I said, "Sure." And he says, "The Salvation over in Port Charlotte, the Salvation Army, just had their outdoor air conditioning unit stolen. He had heard about it, and he asked me, he says, why don't you get in contact with them and see if there's anything we can do for them to help them out?" So at first I called the commander, and I said, hey, I'm Joe with Grand Aire Services, and we heard your air conditioner got stolen, and we want to come down there and help you. And literally the commander was in disbelief. I thought he thought that I was kidding with him, and I said, sir, absolutely, I'm serious. I'd love to come down there, take a look at it. And sure enough, he said, well, come on down. I went down there, took a look at it. The outside unit was definitely stolen. The inside unit was there. It was old. It was probably 20-some years old. And I went back to Bobby, and I said, Bob, I said, man, they need a whole new system. And he said, go ahead and do it. He goes, let's do it. Get them folks back going. And I tell you, just the pride, knowing that I'm involved and all of us are involved with that, you can't even put words to it. You know, it just fills your heart with good feelings, and just know you're helping the community.
Right. That is tremendous as far as... and no one knows about it.
Right. And that's how he is as an owner. I mean, that's... He puts it out there for us to take care of the community, and that's kind of how we do things.
And he lets us take the lead, you know, and which is rare, you know, because a lot of folks, they want that feather in the cap, and he's total opposite, and we really appreciate him.
Well, the community really appreciates all the input from all of you. I mean, every single person that I've ever dealt with in that office, top-notch professionals, and totally just willing to talk to you no matter what, help you in any way that they can. And it's nice to hear that it not only happens at the bottom, but it happens all the way from the top on down, and from down on.
Yeah, and that's how we get there, because you know, we're all going to be reflective of the top person. That's the owner. You know, we just do great things, and we're just proud.
And well, you should be. Did I read on your website that you were even a sponsor of the 2012 London Summer Olympics? Did you have... well, you had commercials playing during it.
Right, and I think that's how we sponsored it. You threw some commercials.
Well, hey, that's sponsorship.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, that's local.
Yes, absolutely, that's local. Do you produce your own television spots, or had somebody do that?
I think we did a few years back, but we've graduated to a marketing company now that is doing a great job this year.
Yeah.
If anyone got to see...
We've got a new one out there now,
yeah.
and we're happy. It's pretty good. So.
Yeah, it's all over cable. I know I've seen it several times on Fox News during the evening, and you know, once again, you're just proud to be involved with a company like Grand Aire.
And you're using community actors, are you not? In your
well, we did last year.
Yeah,
this year it was
having the best.
How did they do that one this year? It was.
It's animation.
Yeah, animation. There we go.
This one, yeah, but we literally grabbed people off the street for the last one.
Oh, okay. Man on the street. Man on the street interviews, and well, why don't we talk about a little bit of what are some of your major challenges that you might have being in this business? I mean, you're in Florida. You're in air conditioning and service business. It's got to be tough on the equipment, on the guys.
It is.
I mean, this has got to be a tough business.
It's a harsh environment, number one. Anything along the coastline on the Gulf or in the Bay just gets eaten up, and it really does. And even though you have a strong warranty on equipment, you still have to deal with that salt. And it's hard with the heat, too, on our service technicians. And when you're running hard in the hot months, I feel for the guys out there because it's tough.
Yeah, and in fact, I let folks know, you know, one, stepping back for a minute, that anyone that comes out to your home from Grand Aire Services, you should always have a good experience. And if you don't have a good experience, we need to know. Because we want to make sure that you do, and we want you happy enough to tell all your friends and neighbors. I mean, if you're happy, to give you an idea, if you're happy, you're going to tell 3 people. If you're upset, you're going to tell 10. So we want you telling 3, and hopefully that 3 will turn into 3 more. But, you know, that's the way we like to do it.
Absolutely. But it's really a brutal environment sometimes, because it's tough physical work.
Yeah. Sometimes the attic temperatures, you know, you're 140 degrees plus. And you got to feel for the guys that are up there doing the work, doing the change-outs. I was there once myself, and I can tell you, you want to cry because it's that hot.
I had to call service over to the chamber during the summer, and I felt terrible for the guy. I mean, I don't remember his name who came out, and I really should have, but he was super nice, had a great attitude, and the sweat was just pouring off. I was like, you know what? I wish I could be his cheer.